What's happening, everybody? Captain Coby coming back at you. Been a minute, but we back. And let me tell you, there's a thing that goes around here in South Louisiana. The first cold spell that comes through, everybody's gumbo pots are rattling, right? So guess what? We had a cold spell this weekend. Got down in the 40s, high about 58. Might not be that cold to you people up north, but let me tell you, it's cold enough to cook gumbo down here in South Louisiana, right? Everybody's pots are rattling, so ours right here. So, special guest for our gumbo video, Mr. Jake Bailey. You don't see the resemblance, I don't know what to tell you.
What's going on, y'all?
This is my son. His favorite meal is chicken and sausage gumbo. I promise I'll make that show with him. People kind of wonder why we ain't did a gumbo video yet. This is why. We've been waiting on him. He's actually in the United States Navy, serving our country proudly. Kind of chip off the old block. Navy man like his dad, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, I like it. All right, hang tight, stay tuned. I'm gonna get with it. All right, hey, listen. We got all our ingredients right here. A lot of people say I don't tell the ingredients, so what we're gonna have Jake do is let you know everything we're gonna use today on how to make an authentic Cajun gumbo. Let them know what they got, Jake.
All right, y'all. We got 3 fresh onions,
Fresh onions, I like it.
2 fresh bell peppers,
I remember the fresh.
some rabbit smoked sausage.
My favorite.
We got some smoked tasso right here.
I like the tassel.
We got some mustard. Heard if y'all needed some mustard, this is the best choice. We got our Captain Coby's Cajun seasoning.
Got it, can't do without it, man.
And right here, we got a little jar roux right here.
Yeah,
Some carrots.
carrots roux.
Tell them about
See
that.
that?
Tell them about that.
And we have our chicken, right? We have 2 whole cut up chickens. And we're gonna get on that in just a minute, kind of let you know what we wanna do about that. But listen, everybody knows Captain Coby likes to make his own roux. And I decided to use jar roux today for Jake, actually. When Jake's gonna go back into service, can't make a roux in the barracks. He's gonna set off the smoke alarm and everything that goes on in there. Gonna get him in trouble, having petty officers running them down, okay? So look, we're gonna keep it simple. We're gonna make it with a jar roux. All you people out there who have a little trouble maybe making a roux and not quite sure how to make a gumbo, this is a great way to do it. A great way to start is with some jar roux, okay? All right, brother, let's get cutting. I'm gonna get this roux going in our water right here and we'll make things happen.
Let's get it.
Oh,
yeah, allons danser un soir, mon cher gelé. Allons danser un soir.
All right. Jake did a fantastic job of cutting our onions and bell peppers. All right. I like my onions and bell peppers chopped fine. He did a great job of doing that. A little chip off the old block. I like it, right? Okay. So listen. People make gumbo different, okay? There's no right way and no wrong way, really, how to make gumbo. But if you want a good authentic Cajun gumbo, this is what we're gonna do. And I'm gonna explain to you why. We're gonna season this chicken real well. We're gonna put a little mustard as a binding agent. We're gonna get our seasoning on there. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna bake this. We're gonna bake this chicken in the oven for about 45 minutes, okay? Maybe an hour, we'll see how it goes. We wanna get a little crust on our skin. That way when you dump it in there, it don't wanna fall apart as fast. You can just dump it in there if you want to. But when you do that, it tends to cook really fast. Your chicken all falls apart. Then you got the bones everywhere inside your gumbo and everything else. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bake our chicken, right? But before we do all that, we gotta season it.
Got to.
Ready, my brother?
Let's do it.
Un soir, allons danser un soir, mon petit gratin.
Let me bring you some juice. Let me bring you what makes the magic happen right here, son.
Yeah.
All right. All right. As you can see, we got Jake lining everything up right here. I want to touch base with everybody a little bit. I love my gumbo with chicken on the bone. You can use boneless, skinless breasts, boneless, skinless thighs, whatever you want. You can use all of that stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, my wife makes her gumbo that way. She makes a fantastic gumbo. And she uses nothing but the frozen thighs where we cut them up into pieces. But if we're gonna go old-timey, authentic, we're going with chicken on the bone. We're gonna bake it first. We're gonna make it happen, right? Right, Jake?
Yes, sir.
All right, I like that. Okay, now that we got our chicken in the oven, and we have our water boiling right here on the thing, a good rule of thumb is this gumbo will probably feed about 8 to 10 people, depending on how many big eaters you have, okay? So a good rule of thumb for such a big gumbo is for this pot right here, you wanna go about half of the jar, maybe about a 5/8 of the jar of the roux that you wanna use for such a gumbo right here, okay? So we'll put this in here while it's boiling. And once we get going, if we think we need a little bit thicker roux, a little bit more, then we'll add as we go, okay? Hey, like our makeshift handle right here, nice. Jake, baby, I'm gonna get you stirring while we dump this in here.
Allons danser un soir, danser un soir, allons danser.
And look, if you put a little bit more than half, or the 5/8 like we said, it's okay. It just make your gumbo a little thicker. So if you like a thicker gumbo, it's not a big deal. Probably put this whole jar, it wouldn't have no trouble. All right, we have our roux in there, and you have to stir this constantly, okay? We have some big chunks of roux in there. You gotta have that all break down, and you gotta let that water ball hard. When that water starts boiling, it's gonna not let that roux stick to the bottom. If you let your roux stick to the bottom, it's gonna burn, it's gonna have a bad burnt taste to it. So you have to be patient. You gotta constantly stir this thing until we get boiling real hard and we get those big clumps broke down to some little bitty old grimis. Okay? Right, Jake?
Right.
Okay, good job. All right, this is mostly broke down. So what we wanna do is, we need to let this cook and come together for 1 hour, okay? 1 hour, cook come together for 1 hour. Right, and I'm gonna show you why. Right, see right here? Even though you look in that pot and it looks all broke up, you still have some little pieces of roux in here that gotta cook. All that's gonna cook out, all that's gonna break down, all that's gonna be one, okay? So we're gonna let this boil for 1 hour, and while that's boiling, we're gonna throw our onions and our bell peppers in there. While Jake's cutting up that tasso, getting ready to come in here, we're gonna let this go. So basically what we have is chicken cooking for 1 hour, 45 minutes. We have our roux has to cook for 1 hour. Don't put no meat, don't put nothing in it for 1 hour. Let that roux come together, let that cook together, okay? But one thing we can put in our roux, yeah, we're gonna do a little Captain Coby's, all right? So what we're gonna do is just enough. Let me open this up all the way. Okay, just enough. So we season our meat, we're gonna season our roux, we're gonna let this get going. And what we'll do is, at the end, when it's all said and done, we'll taste it. If we need to add a little bit, great. If we don't, even better. Good job, Sailor. All right, youngster, let me show you something. When you cover this pot up right here, okay? That thing's it's gonna wanna ball over like that. Don't let it ball over, keep an eye on it. We're fortunate enough to have a lid that's open where we can see, all right? If you wanna do anything, you can leave it open just a little bit. And it won't do that for you, to let some of that escape, right?
Yeah.
Lesson for y'all too. You cover it, make sure you watch it. It's gonna wanna ball over, right?
Thanks for the tips, Cap.
Got it, man. All right, everybody, look. We got our roux cooking. We got our chicken cooking in the oven. And we have our sausage and our tasso ready to go. Jake just finished cutting all that up. So while we're playing the waiting game, we'll get to know Jake Bailey a little bit better, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Tell them about yourself a little bit, Jake. Let them know. I already know you in the Navy.
Yep, I'm in the Navy. I'm stationed in Belle Chase, Louisiana, also known as NAS New Orleans.
Yeah, this dude gets stationed in his hometown of Louisiana. How the hell that happened? Giving my right arm to do that when I was in the Navy. Stuck me in Norfolk, Virginia.
Sucks to suck, bro.
All right.
But yeah, I'm a United States Naval Air Crewman. I travel the world. That's pretty much it. I'm about to
Tell them a little bit about your job, what the air crewman does.
So what I do is I load stuff on the plane and then I load it off the plane. But in between time, I just sit while we're flying and make sure the plane's all right, make sure it's not on fire. If it does, I'll put it out. Learned that from Captain Coby.
Hey, what you know about that?
Yeah, but that's pretty much it. I'm just in the qualifying stages right now. So I'm going through getting qualified. I'm just traveling the world.
Well, listen, I know you know. In case y'all don't know, I'm extremely proud of this kid. We had our moments when he was a teenager, but
Yeah.
I'm extremely proud of him. So good job, man. I'm proud of you and I love you.
Thanks, Pops.
All right, brother. All right. Chicken's just about done. Our roux come together nicely. Look at this real well. All gone, everything's out, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our sausage, our smoked sausage and our smoked tasso. We're gonna let this come on here. Jake, you ready? I'm gonna hold it for you, bud. Try not to spill it. Like I do.
It's all about the angle of attack, huh? You always do it wrong.
To be that? Some Navy terms, the angle of attack.
You learn a thing or two.
All right. See how we're looking? Let's get her back going. Get ready for our chicken. Beautiful. All right, as you can see, our chicken is, we baked it. Go ahead, you can go ahead and put it in there, Jay. Good job. We got our chicken crisped up. Now what that does is it creates a little coating over the chicken. So it's gonna be able to cook a little longer. It's gonna be able to ball a little longer and not fall apart and break apart. That's what we're trying to achieve right here, okay? So good job with that. Get them all lined up in here. Smells good already, bro. Yeah, I like it. And what we got right here, we had a cut fryer. We cut a fryer up. Some whole fryers. Good tin of meat. It's your good tin of gumbo. Jake, get us a little bit of water. Okay, listen. A lot of people want to throw this grease out. You need this grease. If you know anything about Captain Coby and you need that cooking, you need this grease to come in here and give you all that flavor, all right? So even though you're gonna have a little bit more grease coming out your chicken, this grease right here, we're gonna dump in here. All right, Jay, give us a little bit of, mess that off. Beautiful. That's beautiful. All right, that's good. All right. So, cooked our chicken for an hour in the oven, cooked our roux for an hour. Okay, we put our sausage in there about 15 minutes ahead of our chicken. And now we have our chicken. And all we have now to cook this, how long, Jake?
An hour.
1 hour, that's right. Okay, so listen, a good gumbo that'll set aside 4 hours. It's not quick, it's not easy. It takes a long time to get that done. Okay, so if you want it to taste fantastic, Let it cook, let them flavors come together, let everything do what it needs to do. All right? Right, son?
Pressure.
All right.
Un soir mon Chajonnais. Oh yeah, oh yeah. L'on dansait. Un soir mon
All right, everybody, listen, it's taste testing time. I'm gonna show you a neat little trick to try and figure out what you're missing in your gumbo. Okay, so a lot of us, you take a spoon, you taste it out of here, it tastes like you have enough pepper, but when you get to your plate or your bowl and you eat it, it's like, man, I need some more seasoning, because the boiling water makes it, kind of enhances the heat a little bit. So what we're gonna do is, we'll take a little bit of this, put in a little cup, okay? We're gonna let that set for about 3-4 minutes. Then we're gonna get a true taste of how much pepper and how much salt we have in there. And if we have to add, we will. If not, we hit it just right. All right, I'll let Jake take the first taste. Got cooled off right here.
Pretty good.
You like it? You don't think we need none?
I'm a fan.
You a fan? Okay. It is pretty good. We did add a little salt earlier. Captain Coby's doesn't have a ton of salt in it, so we had to add a little salt, but I'm gonna give it just a little bit more hit of fire, because I like mine a little spicy. You like it spicy, J. Bailey?
A little bit.
Okay. We'll let that come together. We'll be eating here in about 5 minutes. Okay. Hey, eating time, baby. It's eating time. Good thigh, good dark meat, I love it. Right. Ready?
Screw you, Cap.
That's hot, son. How is it, brother? It's the best ever. It is pretty good gumbo, especially when it's cold outside. Fantastic meal. Warms you up from the inside out, right? So I'd like to say, Jake, how'd your first gumbo turn out, bud? Pretty good, right? Listen, we're about to take over NAS New Orleans over there with selling gumbo, right? Show the people over there in New Orleans how to really do this stuff. All right. Thank y'all for joining us. Had a great show. Keep cooking and see y'all in the kitchen.